These tournaments as the 90 tournament because it will finish in 1990 as we are right now. But from Canada's standpoint, they were ahead in that abandonment of that tournament when the Soviets and the Canadian team were disqualified, and that was a medal that was tough to lose for Canada.
And that was the year that Finland, because of the disqualification of Canada and the Soviet Union, was awarded the gold medal. Back to the point, Malgunas takes the shot. A whistle on the play. They're going to perform that face-off again as someone had moved prematurely.
Soviets have had two good chances, though. Bure in alone, Facet beat him, and Shamnov took too much time, and Facet had gone down, but his long pads were able to scramble the puck and cause the stoppage.
Bure to Kovalenko. Kovalenko has to wait for Bure to get back onside. Bure ahead to Kovalenko. Kovalenko stopped at the line. Chizowski got back very quickly to break up the play. Bure tries again. Bure knocked down. He looks to the referee, Derek Martin of the United States, for a whistle, but the arm was not raised. Now he'll try again. Bure going for the net, a backhand shot, the rebound. Kovalenko took two swipes at it, and Facet covered that short side.
We saw the speed of Bure as he really tore around the Canadian defenseman, and certainly from the Soviet standpoint, that's one player they hoped would get going, but Malgunas had trouble as Bure went right around the outside, and a pretty good scoring chance. You see there, he took the first shot. There's a double rebound here. The pad is stacked, and Facet really likes to go back in. His style of play is good for European style hockey because they like to make a lot of plays in the goal mouth.
5-3, Canada leads the Soviet Union. 6:40 into the third period. It was 3-0 in the first period for the Soviets. Canada got two late first period goals on the power play and then three consecutive goals in the second. Kozlov drops it back to the point. Karpatsev gives it to Kozlov. To Oksuda, back to Kozlov. Kozlov in the slot area, lets the shot go. It was deflected. Walls steered it to the corner. Kozlov gets it again for Oksuda, trying to move out front. Soviets applying pressure. Here's an opportunity as the shot is taken, and Set comes up with the save as it came out to Martinuk on the good pressure by the Soviet Union.
Coach Guy Sharana has his forwards really trying to cave in deep, and there's some openings on the point, but the Soviets don't go very much to the point. They try those little bang-bang plays, and look, you've got four Canadian players in an area of about 15 feet in front of the net. They've really made it tough to get in the slot area. That was an angle shot that Facet was able to handle.
Face off to the right of Facet.
Coverage was good. We got no problem. They did a job. Defense was did a good job.
Lindros tied up his man on that face-off. The puck comes loose. Kudashov fired it wide. Potayachuk tried to go for the net. It was taken away from him by Plavsic. Plavsic gives it to Lindros. Lindros bowls over the Soviet defender Yushkevich, but the puck is deflected over the boards and out of play, resulting in another stoppage in play. Soviets led by 3, and I'm sure they're a little stunned by what has happened here at the Helsinki Arena, as Canada has scored 5 consecutive goals. Brisbaugh racing after the puck in his own zone, trying to move it up along the boards. It will slide all the way back into the Soviet zone and result in an icing call against Canada.
Well, they got the 3 goals in 4:38 of the first period. Canada came back with the 2 power play goals in 49 seconds, so there's been a lot of scoring in a hurry, but we see this third period here, Canada not maybe doing as much forechecking as they did in the second period, but I've noticed the way Adrian Plavsic has really lugged the puck out of the end zone. They've been able to take advantage of not very good forechecking by the Soviets. So the 5-man defense in the first 7-8 minutes has really held up for Canada.
Barnes faces Zhamnov in the circle. Puck is knocked down the ice. Racing after it is Pellerin. It comes loose and is fired over top of the net by Needham. Needham has it in the corner. Back to the point to Haller. He lets it go right on the rebound. They score! Pellerin is rewarded in the slot area as he pounced on that big rebound and fires it past Kachenko.
You always have the feeling, Don, that the next goal is a big one when you have a 2-goal lead. Canada coming up with Kevin Haller took the shot from the blue line. The goaltender gave a big rebound out and lost his balance, and Scott Pellerin was able to get it high enough. He was right in the slot area. You'll see it come back to Haller. There's the play right there. I think it was Needham that threw it across, and here's the open net play as the goalie tries to slide across, but Haller's shot, the rebound comes out. Pellerin gets enough on it to put it up, and Canada goes ahead 6-3.
Haller and Ratushny are awarded assists on the goal by Scott Pellerin. And Scott Pellerin, you may recall, earlier in the game, took that hit. It looked as though he had a Charlie horse problem, had it retaped, and continued to play and has played well.
I thought Needham threw it back to Haller. He took the shot. They give the assist to Ratushny, the defense partner of Haller, but I don't think there'll be any changes on that one. I'm sure Needham's the one that put it back to the point, though.
They have corrected a couple of the scoring plays in the hockey game so far. Needham getting that goal that initially was credited to Brisbois, the second power play goal, and they also changed one of the Soviet goals. We had called it as Batsayev scoring. They had announced as Gordiuk first. Here's Bure moving in, and that puck winds up underneath goaltender Stefan Facet, and Facet will have Bure talking to himself tonight because that's about the fourth good scoring opportunity the speedy Soviet has had.
What happened is Plavsic got confused with Malgunas, and Bure was in alone as he took the cross-ice pass, and Plavsic playing on the right side. You'll see both defensemen on the same side, and a pretty good scoring chance for Bure, all in all alone. Dwayne Norris trying to get back, but Plavsic got mixed up playing on the left side.
And I think it was Norris who dove at Bure, trying to knock that puck away from him, that went crashing into the end boards and is hurt.
Might have prevented Bure, though, from going in and trying to deke Facet. Facet has played his angles very well. He doesn't really come out and force the player to try to go around him, so it was Norris that took the dive.
Scotty, I hearken back to the month of September when I was in the Soviet Union along with Harry Neal and Ron McLean for the friendship tour by the Calgary Flames and the Washington Capitals. We had an opportunity to talk with Anatoly Tarasov, the father of Soviet hockey. He said in comparing Soviet hockey and Canadian hockey, he always felt that the Soviets were equal in skills. They could have better conditioned teams than Canada, better team play, but when it came to emotion, motivation, heart, desire, his reply was niet, niet, niet.
Well, down 3-0, and we saw the desire as those two quick goals changed this game around, but we still have, you know, Don, about a little over 10 minutes left in this game.
Puck fired wide by Terteshny. Canada moves it out to center ice, and the Soviets trying to force the play and create some opportunities in the offensive zone are getting caught defensively in this third period. Craig sliding it out front. He tried to slip it across to Draper, but Draper was tied up. Canada has had a couple of 2-on-1s, 3-on-2 breaks in this third period.
Well, this line of Walls, Draper, and Craig have put a little bit of speed into the Canadian attack, and that's one thing Canada has not sat back tonight. If you give an edge one way or the other, I'd say Canada's skating has been better than the Soviets thus far.
I'll harken back to another comment that Tarasov made as well. We asked him who the best NHL coach ever was. He said, Scotty Bowman.
Well, he's probably a friend of mine if he said that, but I remember when he came in the mid-70s to Montreal and watching that big red machine. We tried to get a few drills put in, but it's a different game, Don, completely with the big ice surface, especially the width.
Potayachuk working against Haller. Haller hammers him into the boards, but Potayachuk recovers. He's knocked down again, and a third time by Haller. Back to the point. Ivanov took a shot. It was blocked. Goes loose to Potayachuk. Potayachuk centering it. Shamanoff couldn't get a stick on it, and it's brought out by Manderville. Manderville taken in against the boards by Nemesnikov. Ivanov plays it up along the boards, races after it himself. He's back on the blue line now after playing a forward position much of the game. Shamanoff goes into the corner. Shamanoff back to the point. Ivanov has his shot blocked with a shoulder problem. Herter with that knee. Pellerin with a Charlie horse. Stephen Rice with a wrist problem. Norris with a hip problem. And of course that groin problem that has plagued goaltender Stefan Facette since training camp.
And you don't go to your bench to put in other players. We may add that this is what you have going for you, so you have to really double up the work for the other players.
The battle for that puck along the boards. Plavsic loses it in the corner to Bure. Bure slides it back to the point. There's a long shot just wide by Gordiak. Zubov at the other point position. In behind the net. The centering attempt is blocked by Plavsic. Batsayev gets it free to Bure. Trying to fire it out that short side to Batsayev. Blocked by Plavsic. The Soviets try again. Kovalenko working to the corner, has it knocked away by Brisbaugh, and Brisbaugh flips it out into the center ice area. We've played 11:54 of this third period. Canada in front 6-3. Lead pass for Bure, a long shot steered to the corner by Facette. Ratushny kicks it up along the boards. Trying to tie up Otsuda as the Soviet team really juggles its lines in this third period, trying to get back in the hockey game. This is an icing call against Canada. 12:17 has been played in the third. Canada leads 6-3. Behind 3-0, but they have taken control of the game since then.
Draper in for Ricci for this face-off, and he's got a pretty good draw going. He'll be replaced by Ricci.
Now Gunas bangs it off the boards and down the ice. Chazowski gets to it. Chazowski controls back to the point. That pass.
One period, it would be pretty tough, though, to play a full game with only 5 defensemen.
I think every player on this Canadian team lineup is accustomed to playing a lot with his junior team or with his collegiate team.
That's the big adjustment for the type of player that you draw for this club, and that's why some of the selections were made.
A penalty coming up against Canada in the offensive zone. Otsuda works into Canadian territory. There's the shot. Facette has it underneath his pad. But it will be a power play for the Soviets. 13:01 into this third period, as the penalty was incurred in the offensive zone behind the play. Mike Craig goes off.
Craig is drawing the penalty. It was called immediately as the Soviets worked their way up the ice. It was a pretty good scoring chance, and Facette has not been as busy as we kind of expected, but he's been able to have good position, and those pads are very big for Facette. He's a big goaltender, and that's helped a lot.
Mike Craig, a #2 draft choice of Minnesota, playing his junior hockey with the Oshawa Generals, and on the 14th of January he will have as his teammate Eric Lindros. The penalty call behind the play. The Soviets with the man advantage. Ivanov to Potayachuk. Potayachuk tries to go cross ice. Kozlov couldn't get a shot away. The puck loose in the Canadian zone. It's brought to the line and out.
Good quick stick by Wesley Walls. Made 2 good plays to prevent the Soviets from getting a good scoring chance.
Jamnov works into the Canadian zone. Plays it to the other corner to Potayachuk. He falls, and Haller picks an opening and drives it the length of the ice.
Well, this is your hockey game, Don. The Canada has about 1.5 minutes left on this penalty, and if they can survive this, there'll only be 5 minutes left in the game.
Scott Pellerin is out there now, replacing Draper. He's killing the penalty with Stu Barnes. Barnes has taken Walls off. Batsayev drops it for Bure. Bure, quarterback of this power play. Back to the line. Gordiak with a shot. Knocked down in front, then steered wide, and Stefan Facette, as he is permitted to do in international hockey, comes diving out of the net to force a stoppage in play and give his penalty killers a rest. Our next telecast will be on Thursday, January 4th. It will originate in Czechoslovakia. 46 seconds remaining in the penalty. Shot goes wide of the net. Batsayev trying to get it loose. He succeeds. Batsayev to Kovalenko. Kovalenko tried to jam it. It was kicked out. And back comes Pellerin. Barnes trying to catch up with the play. Barnes goes for the net. The pass doesn't get through. Bure on the right side to